When I was young, they said this bridge couldn't be built.
They said this place could not be crossed, not with steel, not with human hands. The water below never rests, the wind changes direction without warning, fog hides distance, depth, and danger. Ships feared this passage, engineers doubted it, nature guarded it, and yet someone looked at this impossible gap and said we will build here, not later, not somewhere safer, here. This is not the story of a bridge. This is the story of how raw material becomes courage and how manufacturing turns imagination into reality. Every great structure begins the same way, not in a factory, not on a construction site, it begins in silence. Lines are drawn on paper, measurements written, erased, rewritten, numbers tested again and again. What would it take to stretch steel across moving water? How strong must each piece be? How much weight could it carry not just today but for generations? There was no room for guesswork. Every bolt, every plate, every cable would have a purpose. Failure was not an option. Manufacturing does not forgive assumptions, it rewards precision. Before a single machine powered on, the structure already existed complete in the mind. Before structure, there is material. Steel does not arrive ready, it is created through heat, pressure, and control. Raw elements are gathered, furnaces come alive, metal softens, flows, transforms. This is where strength is decided. Temperatures are monitored, impurities removed, consistency enforced. Steel meant for a structure like this must behave predictably under stress, under cold, under constant motion. Sheets are rolled, beams shaped, plates cut with unforgiving accuracy. Every component is inspected, measured, approved or rejected. Manufacturing at this scale is not fast, it is exact, because once steel leaves the factory there is no easy correction. Steel alone is not enough, it must be shaped with intent. Workshops fill with sound, cutting, grinding, welding, sparks scatter like brief stars, arcs of light trace seams that must never fail. Here human skill meets industrial power. Hands guide machines, eyes examine welds, experience notices what instruments may miss. Every joint is reinforced, every edge refined. These pieces will one day hang above open water carrying weight far greater than themselves, so nothing is rushed, nothing is assumed. Manufacturing is patience made visible. Once formed, the steel must move. Massive components leave controlled environments and face the real world. They are lifted, secured, balanced, transported over land and water. Every movement is calculated, every vibration considered, because damage here would mean delay or worse. This stage is rarely seen, yet it proves whether planning was honest. Manufacturing does not end at the factory door, it follows the material to its final place. Below the surface work begins where visibility disappears. Crews battle currents, equipment resists motion, precision must survive chaos. Foundations are anchored deep into earth that does not want to be disturbed. Concrete is placed under conditions that reject mistakes, timing matters, alignment matters. Above water progress appears slow, below water everything happens at once. Steel begins to rise. Piece by piece the shape emerges. Cranes lift with deliberate calm, workers guide enormous sections into place. Bolts align, connections tighten, measurements are checked again and again. There is no drama here, only discipline. Large structures do not survive emotion, they survive accuracy. From a distance it looks effortless, up close it is relentless focus. Then come the cables, not decoration, not support alone, these are the spine. Thousands of steel wires, each one weak on its own, together forming unimaginable strength. They are spun, tensioned, aligned. The process is slow because it must be, balance is everything. Too much tension in one place and the entire system suffers. Manufacturing becomes choreography, every action depends on the last. Among all this steel
Chain is thick.
and machinery, people remain essential. Thousands of workers with different skills and different roles. Some measure, some weld, some guide loads high above water. Each understands their responsibility and trusts the others to do the same. Machines amplify skill, they do not replace accountability. As the structure grows, wind pushes against it, temperature changes affect it, calculations are adjusted in real time. Manufacturing here is not static, it responds, it adapts. Protective systems are prepared before completion. Surfaces are treated, coatings applied, layers added to resist corrosion, salt, rain, and sun. This is manufacturing thinking decades ahead, not how it looks today but how it survives tomorrow.
We're clear on the
Maintenance
left.
begins before completion, longevity is designed not hoped for. The final pieces come together slowly, deliberately. Alignment is verified one last time, systems reviewed, redundancies confirmed.
Bring it up slowly. Watch the
Weight
clearance
settles,
inside.
tension
Copy that.
distributes,
Steady,
the structure begins to behave as one complete form. This is the quiet moment manufacturing works toward, when everything simply holds. At first it is only a way across water, a functional solution to a geographic problem. But over time it becomes
Roger that.
more.
Swinging slightly to the
It
east.
becomes a landmark, a symbol, a promise.
All right, bring her down easy.
It stands
Watch the
not
left side.
because it defies nature but because it understands it.
Holding steady here.
Steel did not conquer this place, it cooperated with it.
Tight. It's locked in.
Wind passes through, water moves below, the structure absorbs and releases force exactly as designed.
Easy now. Bring it
This
left.
is manufacturing at its highest level, where science, skill, and patience meet. Long after the noise fades, long after the last tool is set down, the structure remains. Silent, strong, unapologetically present.
Alignment holding steady.
What stands here today was once only an idea, an argument against doubt, a challenge to limitation. It reminds us that impossibility is often a lack of precision, that scale is only a question of process, and that human hands guided by knowledge can shape the world. This is what manufacturing G makes possible, not just objects, but confidence, not just structures, but connection. Built where it was never supposed to exist, standing not as a victory over nature but as proof that when vision meets discipline, even the most guarded places can be crossed. What happens next is not dramatic, but it is constant.
Hold the tension steady.
The structure begins
Clamps
its real
engaged
work
on
in
this side.
silence, responding every second to
Okay,
forces it
signal
was
the crane,
designed
we
to
are
understand.
secure.
Loads move across it in endless repetition. Wind approaches from shifting directions. Heat and cold stretch and compress the material by margins too small to see, yet too important to ignore. Embedded systems observe behavior, while human eyes return again and again to confirm what calculations once predicted. This is where manufacturing proves its true depth. Not in spectacle, but in reliability. What was assembled under pressure now operates under trust. The discipline that shaped each component continues long after completion, transforming construction into care and engineering into guardianship. Strength is
step,
no
the plate
longer
is heavy.
something created, it is something
Got it.
maintained. And gradually,
up now.
the structure becomes invisible in the best possible
Watch
way.
your step. The plate is heavy.
It enters routine.
Got it.
It becomes part of movement, part
it
of
up
habit,
now.
part of the landscape itself. People cross without hesitation, unaware of the precision beneath them, unaware of the thousands of decisions holding everything steady.
All right, bring
This
her
is
down
the
slow.
highest achievement of manufacturing at this
Hold it,
scale,
shift left.
when complexity
Easy,
disappears
easy.
into
Set it
confidence.
down.
When the extraordinary feels ordinary because it never fails. Nothing here is accidental. Every outcome is the result of intention carried from design to execution, from material selection to final inspection. Respect for forces. Respect for time. Respect for responsibility. Because the real measure of what has been built is not how impressive it appears on the day it opens, but how faithfully it performs year after year, carrying weight, resisting change, and proving that when vision is matched with discipline, permanence is possible. Celebration, not in completion, but in continuity. The structure stands as a reminder that progress does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it simply endures. It carries movement, connects distances, and holds space between what was once separated. Long after the voices fade and the machines fall silent, the work remains visible in every crossing, every moment of trust placed upon it. This is the lasting power of manufacturing done with discipline and care. Not to dominate the environment, but to exist within it with balance and respect. What stands here is more than steel and structure. It is intention made permanent. And as long as it remains standing, it quietly answers the doubt that once surrounded it, proving that even the most guarded places can be crossed when vision, precision, and patience move together.